up, guys? Welcome to week 37's weight loss update of my Keto Transformation. Two things, new product from Perfect Keto. Okay, so Perfect Keto has new nut butter flavors. Use the coupon code below for 15% off in the link. Hit that subscribe button down below, turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of my videos. The second thing is, I'm not a doctor, not a medical professional, not a health coach, not an expert, and everything you see in this channel is based off my own research and my own experience. All right, let's get right into the week 37 update. I guess you can say I'm obviously not wearing my sports bra and leggings. So that's the first thing, like, hey, what's going on here? Yes, this is something new this week, and I will explain why there's a slight change in my weekly videos. First things, last week was a killer week. I had a very highly stressful week, and that's because my daughter has asthma, and she had a flare-up last week that was literally like 7 days long. And if you know anybody or have a kid with childhood asthma, it can go from like 0 to 100 in like minutes. I mean, it's very scary, and there's nothing there's no way to even say it other than I felt so helpless last week. We went to the pediatrician, got more steroids, more, all the 9 yards, and nothing was really helping and giving relief. And I can't sleep when that happens. And when I don't sleep, it always reflects in the scale. I could not focus on my journey last week because obviously I was wearing my mom cap, and I was battling asthma with my daughter all week. So the many sleepless nights, I don't know if you noticed, but there was not many comments from me, not many videos last week. I kind of like just checked out because my baby needed me. So with all that being said, I didn't have a good week last week. And I didn't want to hop on and make a video, but then it's like there's always this part of me that says, nope, you have to talk about this stuff. This is part of the journey, and this is what people want to hear. I don't know if you've noticed, but my journey has never been straight down. My journey is like, it's a downward trend, but it's ups and downs with a downward trend. And that's because that's the real raw deal of a weight loss journey. Some weeks you win, some weeks you lose, and there was a 0 in the column for Jess last week, and life won in the other column. Now, why am I sharing this extra info that has nothing to do with my weight loss channel? Well, it's because sometimes when you get so stressed out, and for my case, dealing with a child with really bad asthma, there's just so much going on that making yourself a priority is now been, right out the window. I put myself back on the back burner. I fell back into old habits by doing that. And I also didn't track any macros. I could care less about what I was eating. I was eating keto, but I was eating way above what my calories were. I found myself just a hot mess last week. And you know what? It's okay. I beat myself up about it yesterday and the day before. But then at the end of the day, I'm like, why am I beating myself up about it? It's life. This stuff happens. It's all a test to see if you're strong enough to keep going, because there's always the good with the bad. Can't just have the good, can't just have the bad. There's always like a balance. And last week I lost. I didn't win it. But you know what? I'm not going to give up yet. So I felt like even though I didn't want to come on here and say, yeah, I ate like a pig last week, it's part of the journey and I'm sharing it. So with that being said, the last thing I wanted to do is hop on the scale after having a whirlwind of a week. So I was like, for the first time ever in 37 weeks, I'm not going to weigh myself. And you know what? No one's dying. Nobody, you know what I mean? Like, it took a huge sense of relief, which takes stress off me, because I feel like I'm under pressure to constantly do well and do, perform without saying, I don't know if that's a good word to use, but I feel like I always need to be perfect. But what I'm trying to always show is we're not perfect. This stuff happens and it's okay. But the difference is the old Jess or the old Jess's habits would be, don't get back on the saddle, don't get back on the bandwagon, fail, just eat more food and make you feel better. And then it would just get out of control. The new Jess says, all right, it was a week. It was like 9 days. We'll call it a week. Now, brush yourself off, get up, and fight again. Get it, just have a restart. So to make you all feel better, I took my glucose and I took my ketone reading. And the glucose was 92 and my ketones were 0.1. That technically with the ketones like that, and that wasn't after exercise, that was a fasting, first of the morning ketone level, 0.1. I officially kicked myself out of ketosis yesterday having tater tots and cookies. So I don't know about you, but I'm ready for Halloween to be over. I'm so sick of all the Halloween stuff and constantly seeing it everywhere. My kids constantly eating Halloween candy. So with that being said, I decided not to do a weigh-in today. So I haven't weighed myself since last Monday of week 36's update. So it'll have been 2 weeks since I've weighed myself. If I can make it to my next weigh-in. And 2 weeks without weighing myself is huge because I weigh myself 1 to 2 times a week. It's always like okay, I'm doing good. It's like my validation or something. But I'm giving my scale so much power. And right now I need the power that I've been giving to that scale. I need it to get me going again. So I'm not giving I'm not sharing my power with that scale. I'm keeping it right here, and we're gonna fight, and we're gonna jump back on the bandwagon here and get keto on. So that's the first step I'm taking to restart my keto game. The second one is when I get like this, I get stressed out, and that's like, I don't really have many people that I look up to. It's part of the reason why I made this channel, because I want somebody to have the answers to the questions I have, and I have not found a channel that has that insight yet. Which stinks because I kind of feel like you guys all have that with me, but I don't really have that with other social media creators. So, but I do follow some doctors that do give me inspiration to help direct me. And they're probably the same ones you follow. Dr. Berg, Dr. Boz, Dr. Berry, Dr. Fung, Dr. Boz. Gosh, that's a lot of B's. Thomas DeLauer, he's not a doctor, but I consider him more pretty much on the expert level. But anyway, so one of the other people I follow is the main doctor from the television show on TLC, 600 Pound Life. It's Dr. Now, or no Zardin. I don't even know how to say his name. But I love him, and you know why? It's because he has been battling morbid obesity and bringing awareness to it and doing his part, because one of the things that we don't fight for is obesity. For instance, he posted on his Instagram that 300,000 people die per year because of obesity. To me, that is eye-opening, and that's unacceptable, because it's technically a disease. I don't know where all those lines go, but I know it's some sort of it's a disease, but it's not a disease. But the point is, it's still a killer. And if it was something like cancer, people were actively trying to find the cure for cancer. Nobody was trying to find the cure for obesity. We just want to manage our obesity by here's a medication, here's a whatever the heck. They just want to manage it. They don't want to cure it. So for me, I respect Dr. Now, because he really has been one of the few people that's really trying to make a difference with obesity. And think of it this way. If there was a makeup product like mascara, and 300,000 people died from using mascara, do you think we would let that company that made that mascara, or the ingredient of that mascara, even if we want to go there, and it killed 300,000 people a year, we'd be waving pitchforks outside of that company headquarters and shutting that company down. But we don't do that for obesity. Like, why is obesity any different? So it just got me thinking. I'm like, if that was a car manufacturer that blew up when you drove, we would be after that car manufacturer for killing 300,000 people. There's no outrage when it comes to obesity and the obesity epidemic. We just want to manage it. We don't want to cure it because there's no money in curing it. So that just prompted my thought, because I feel like there should be more of an outrage over battling obesity. And why did I share this whole thing? Like, me had to make this all together. Well, it's up to you to save your life. Nobody is working for you to cure obesity. It's only up to you. So the world's not set up to cure obesity. The world's set up to make it worse and make more money off of you. So you have to start eating today as if your life depended on it, because your life depends on it. It's only you that can help yourself. So like when I'm in these moments where I'm just like, I have to think of these type thoughts basically to save myself, because I know no one's out here advocating for me to lose this weight. I mean, granted, I have a YouTube channel and I love you guys. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like, I don't have a team of doctors that are behind me making sure that I get my goals to be cured of obesity. I was lucky I even had a doctor that liked keto. So what I'm trying to say to you is it's up to you to fix this, to cure this, to make those choices, because every time we eat, we have a choice. And if we choose to eat something that won't help our health, have a positive effect on our health, there will be consequences with that. You may get away with it now, but you'll pay for it later in diseases that you're going to get as a result of being obese. So when I'm going to tie this all together is you have to eat today as if your life depended on it, because it does. Your life absolutely depends on every single thing you put in your mouth. So imagine yourself, close your eyes, imagine what your future healthy self looks like. Take a peek. What does he or she look like? How do you think that future self manages their weight? Do you think they just got down there to their goal weight and like just walked away, or went back to normal? You have to envision what that person's lifestyle is like now. Do they go to the gym every day? Do they eat well most of the time? Do they track their macros? Do they learn proper serving sizes? Are they happy? What habits do they have? Like the creature of habit saying. I've slowly been turning into a creature of habit with my tracking my macros, my going to the gym 3 to 4 times a week, my daily walks. And that's like the new me. The new me is constantly in motion. And those are my new habits. So when I look into the future, I see me at my goal weight continuing these new habits that I've made and have become no longer new habits, but the new me, the new normal. So you have to start acting that way today so that you can get to that future self, because that future self got that way by creating new healthy habits. And that means taking the time to plan menus, to track macros, to make healthy snacks for when you're having stressful times. I feel like I could have done way worse last week, but I had quite a few snacks on hand thanks to Perfect Keto. I have bars, I had, stuff I could make in my coffee, and I had some stuff on hand, so I could have done way more damage. But I'm saying that thought process to plan ahead, and to when you have a troubled week or something that just derails you, you don't give up then. Never give up on yourself. You've got to fight for it every day, and because you're the only person that is going to fight for you. Nobody else is going to fight for you. You pretty much, if you gain weight, you're on your own until you fight for what you want. And if you want that, goal weight body that you envision, it takes work. You're just not going to give it, you won't be given that body. You're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to muscle through it and create new healthy habits. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it made sense, because I know I get off topic, but I feel like there's nobody talks about this side of the obesity epidemic, and it's something I'm passionate about, and I advocate for self-growth, because I feel like there's no other way to help yourself if you don't grow as a person and change these habits. Because my old self likes to pop in from time to time. It popped in last week where I could care less, you know? And the difference is, that's okay. You can have a week of life. You can have that. That's no problem. You have 2 weeks of life, whatever. But now is when you shut that off and you roll up the sleeves and you start getting down to business, and you get back to work and you fight for that future self that only you can create. So if you have any tips, any types of advice for people, comment below. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to forget about last week. I'm not going to get on the scale. I'm just going to put in the work this week and fight harder, and we'll see what happens next week. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I didn't do any keto before and after pictures, but you know what? It's a new thing, and I always tell you not to give that scale any power. So I'm going to take my own advice, and I'm not weighing in this week either. So I'll catch you at the next video. I'm Jess. You're watching Keto Rewind.